here as well. Bradley's not on the camera, but he's here. So if you have a question for Bradley, you can shoot him one as well. But hope you're well. Hope you're well. It's a big month in arm wrestling coming up. Obviously, I've just got back from Ireland. Obviously, we got East vs West and the big Devon Levan match just a few short weeks away. So it's a pretty exciting time, like 3.5 weeks or something like that, crazy, until Levan and Devon throw down once again. So that, no doubt, is the topic of the next few weeks. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna wait for you guys to come in. G'day to Kushambi, the arm wrestling first one. Alson, the Drew 24, bunch of you guys coming in. Good to see you guys. Drew 24, hey, welcome, man. Connor Matthews, hello, mate, to you too. Josh Rodriguez, g'day. Thanks for joining in on the live. Hope you guys are well. Hey, it's been a really it's been an interesting couple of weeks for me. I had a great time over there, and yeah, the moustache is coming along. It's getting better. It's getting better. I don't know I don't know where I'm going to take it exactly, but it is improving. It is improving. Josh Barker's in the chat. Good to see you, man. He says, "Hey, I've been pulling with Gabriel. Awesome stuff. You got any video footage of that, Josh? I'd love to see the video footage of you and Gabriel. That would be pretty damn cool." Gabriel's one of those guys from the USA who was his last name Gabriel Young or something like that. He's always pulling with the Whisperer. Anyway, he's in Australia at the moment, and he's been grouping up with our number one or multiple national champion 70 kilo Josh Barker there. So that'll be interesting to see. But hope you're well, man. Get some gel on that thing. What am I getting gel on, Connor? Anyway, Gabe Young. There it is. There's the name. Thanks, Drew. I appreciate it. Thank you, Leyland Bostain. Says, Ryan, you should be proud of yourself with a guy like Ron. Wish more people realize that. Yeah, it's, it was a really interesting experience, the lead up. And when I say the lead up, I'm talking about kind of like the internet lead up to that match. I apologize to Ron in advance for the negativity that may be directed his way. A lot of people wanted to jump on the Ron's over the hill sort of bandwagon. Those people that wanted to just say that that I didn't do well. But anyway, look, Ron's a stud, and one thing about arm wrestling is that when you remain active in arm wrestling, you don't really fade. Now, in a muscular sense, Ron obviously was in his peak, as he said, between age 40 and 45. But Ron's a stud. If you don't think Ron's a stud, then you don't know arm wrestling. That's pretty much it. But yeah, it was an awesome weekend, and I was really, really happy with how the match went. Obviously, I didn't win it, but if you haven't seen it yet, it's worth going and checking out on the Arm Gods website. I'm not sure when they will release it public and free, but you can still see it. It's only like a $4 pay-per-view or something. So you can go and check it out. But it was a good match, particularly round one. It was knife edge. It was anyone's. We got stuck at center, and it was his. I could handle his peak force, but it was his sustained side pressure that actually ended up breaking through and forcing me down to a King's move and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, thank you, Leland Bostain. I really appreciate that, man. I really, really do. Saban Badalescu in the chat. Good to see you, Saban. Number one arm wrestler in Romania right there. Hello, my neighbor from Basement. Yeah. What he's talking about there is when he was in New York, and he's talking about a basement. It was Dan Fortuna. Both Saban Badalescu and I slept in Dan Fortuna's basement, which was like a arm wrestling museum, mind you. It was incredibly cool. We slept there. It was incredibly cold. I remember it was winter, New York, in a cold basement with no heating. Me and Saban Badalescu. I don't think we spooned, but I think we were both pretty cold. But good to see you, Saban. Hope you and your family are well, brother. Drew 24. What's he up to? Saying Jamie's a great dude. Very few are more dedicated. Yeah, look, Jamie's a stud. He's in great form at the moment, and only big things to come from him for sure. Just having a quick look through the chat, seeing what's going on, and then we'll crack on talking about what is going on this month in arm wrestling, because there are some big things. Yeah, Connor Matthews, he says, mate, the people before the match saying Ron was washed up was driving him nuts. Yeah, Ron's a stud. Ron's next super match is, wait till you see it. It's not someone that would suggest that Ron's washed up, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, Connor Matthews, if you're an arm wrestler, you just know. If you're not an arm wrestler and you're kind of just a loose follower, you think that old guys can't pull. But look, there are so many quality old guys in arm wrestling, and yeah, Ron's definitely one of them. But it was a thrill to pull him, man. To be honest, I had a blast. Good to see you, Savage Hitters. Drew says Ron's a monster. Good morning to you, Broly Chase. Fox 8 Ball's still going with the Yahoos from the Arm Gods event. Good stuff. There's the link to the website. Drew's put it in the chat. The Arm Gods. £5 is the pay-per-view. You can still grab it, guys. Yeah, Connor, you can tell who's been around for a while and who hasn't when you see the people that just rule him out. But anyway, enough about that. What's next for me, Josh Barker? Chance Shaw rematch, RVJ. Look, the RVJ match is going to happen this year. We're still working out exactly when and where. What I can say is that look, I do have more matches booked, but I can't talk about them yet. So I've got a good year coming up this year. In terms of how many matches I'll be pulling, you will see me again on the big stage in the not too distant future. So that's all I'll say. But I can't really talk about it yet. But sometime soon I will. Anyway, Josh Barker, maybe if you talk with me privately someday, I'll tell you before the announcement. But anyway, there's lots to come for me still. I mean, I feel really good. I feel like I'm the most strongest I've ever been right now. There's no doubting that. And yeah, me versus Devon. Yeah, if you guys saw the poll, man, I triggered a few of you in there in that poll with me versus Devon. Yeah, look, I was talking to Devon earlier today. And yeah, the 40 versus 50 super match, if you don't know the history of that, the 40 versus 50 super match years ago, Devon and I joked about who would win the super match when he's 50 and I'm 40. Now, at the time, Devon was nowhere near the rank that he has now. At the time, Devon was like, it seemed like Devon was fading at the time. And we joked about it being a potentially good match, that I might be at my peak and he might be fading out by then. But turns out he's at his peak too. So it's no, but yeah, look, I don't know if you can see it. I'm chatting with Devon earlier today. There you see it. He says, "Yep, we can discuss." So the when I say we can discuss, that was Devon's response to me saying, "Hey, you're still up for the 40 versus 50 match next year." I wrote to him, "Hey, Devon, hope you're well, man. You're still up for the 40 versus 50 next year. Obviously just for laughs and a bit of fun." And he said, "Yeah, laugh out loud. We can discuss." So that's the nature of it. Bradley, here he is. Bradley wants to say good day.
Hi.
Yeah, there's the camera over there, bud. Vanilla Gorilla's in the house. He's been training hard, making the gains, aren't you, Brad? Gains. Give us a flex over here. Try not to kill the power, lose the live. I don't know, whatever arm you want. The one closest to the camera will probably, oh, that looks good. Well, you can't see it. Put it in there. There it is. There it is. Look at that.
It's a bit weak up a little bit, though.
It's looking good, mate. Good stuff. What's that power cord?
Yeah,
good stuff. I'm sure everyone's saying g'day to the Vanilla Gorilla. Look, Bradley, the future champ from the Drew 24. And Bradders from the Fox 8 Ball.
That's one of my new nicknames.
Bradders. Oh, I didn't even know that was your nickname. You get that one at school.
That's going to be a new one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Bradley. There's one from Daryl Hart with the flex, triple flex. Nice. Hayden's loving the mustache. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Working on it. Working on the mustache.
Do the French.
Do the French. You like it when I curl it right up? Oui. Anyway, let me go back through the comments. By the way, if I do miss any super chats, I do apologize. I'm gonna try. It's been a while. I'm a bit rusty on this. Let me just scroll back and have a look through the comments. What's going on? All right. Where was I up to? Is Zurab actually done now? That's an interesting point, Steve. I haven't spoken directly to Zurab, but like finger on the pulse, it does appear that's the case. I don't know what the reasons are. I haven't investigated, but I don't know. He obviously, we know he broke his arm a year and a bit ago or whatever, and coming back from that may have had complications. I don't know, but he was looking strong again. So it's sad, but look, you can't do this thing forever, and there are more important things in life in arm wrestling at the end of the day. So wish him well, whatever he is. And look, arm wrestling is one of those sports that's kind of hard to quit. Even if you do quit, you kind of never will quit, because I can guarantee you in 3, 4, 5 years, even 10 years time, Zurab could pick the sport back up and pretty much return to the level he was at. So it's built into his body now. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. But anyway, Sweden Arm Wrestling Television in the chat. What's up, brother? Hope you had a safe trip home. Thank you, man. Epic trip. It took forever. It's 23 and a half hours in the air to get from my place to Ireland. Yeah. What else is going on? Chance hasn't been interested in pulling for a bit, says the Drew 24. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. He obviously took a couple of L's, but he's one of those guys who can pop up anytime. Absolutely. What's going on? Taryn Broad, thank you for arm wrestling. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Leveling up again after your super match with Brett Coots. Good stuff. Bit of a late stream. Oh, well, it depends where you are. It's a bit of a late stream if you're in Australia, a bit of an early stream if you're in the USA. They're only just waking up over there. It's like 8:30 or something in New York at the moment, or 8:50. And it's probably 5:50 or something in the morning if you're in Los Angeles or something like that. So Leyland's off to work. See, it's early for him. You have a good day at work, brother. Thank you for tuning in. The Drew reckons you could beat me on left now, Brad, in an arm wrestle.
No. If it's proper, no.
You want to test it?
No.
Bradley's game is really leveling up. He's really getting strong. All right. You just do your thing. I'll defend. Wow, that's solid pronation. The cool thing is your pronation has gone through the roof. Like your hand and wrist is rather psycho for your age.
And when I was at school, we did like a hand measurement. I had like one of the biggest hands, and like someone's hand, like this was one of their fingers, and then this was one of mine.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you do. You have a very wide palm.
Yes.
You have a very wide palm. Hey, Granddad's on. He says, "Hey, Bradley."
Hi, Granddad.
You have to stick your head around here. That's the camera.
Hi.
Yeah, Adam says I look like Cody Merritt with this mustache. I agree. Cody's got the French curl going on, or whatever that is. Vanilla Gorilla's looking massive, says Fox 8 Ball. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Ginger. He says excellent performance, Ryan. Round 1 was great. Yeah, round 1 was good. Round 1 it could have gone anyway. By round 3 it was getting pretty ugly, but yeah. All good. 3 generations of Bowen in the house, says Connor Matthew. Yep. 2 in the room, 1 on the internet. And soon we're going to be going down and visiting Granddad soon, aren't we? Yeah, we'll be able to grip up. Bradley wants to do some fishing, Granddad.
Yep.
He's very keen on the fishing.
Yes. I want to catch a bigger flathead.
He wants to level up the flathead that he got last time. Chuck that on, Brad, so you can hear what's going on.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go. Now
you can hear your voice.
Yeah.
Hang on. Shuffle around. Actually, look. We'll just get like this. There we go. Now you're in.
Hello there.
Hello. We got both of us now. Okay. There we go. That's good. What's been happening, Brad? You get all shy all of a sudden. Hang on. Josh Barker. He broke his arm again.
Huh?
We're talking about Zurab. Did that really happen? Is that what happened? Does it confirm that for me? We're just talking about a guy that is potentially retiring from the sport, Bradley. But yeah, if he broke his arm again, that would make sense. But that is terrible if that's the case. Mr. Peanut says, keep your eye on your hand at all times, Bradley, when you're arm wrestling. You've got good instincts on the table.
Yep.
You've got them all. You got the hook, you got the top roll, you got the King's move, you got the press. You got all of them, haven't you?
Yes.
How are you feeling for the AWE tournament coming up? Look, the AWE tournament coming up for me, I'm very much excited about it. I think that it's the hardest tournament that I've pulled in Australia, without a doubt. The 8 guys in the tournament. It's the 8 best guys in Oceania, but it's just missing Lachlan Adair. It's the next 8 best. So it's a tournament where really anyone could win. We got Matej Urangi, Hita Morris, we got Ricard Bornman, we got Gunter Baikovs. These guys are studs. We got former multiple national champ Ryan Scott. We got Brett Coots. We got Lachlan Carpenter. We got myself, and we got Andy Boskovic, who just destroyed Jordan Davis a couple of weeks ago, to give you some perspective. Oh, we're missing Mario as well. Mario would be in the 8 as well, but it's a star-studded lineup, and the heavyweight titles on the line. There's some cash on the line as well. It's going to be live and free from this YouTube channel on April 13, which should be fun, and we'll put out a nice post-production as well. But lunchtime in Scotland. There you go, Fox 8 Ball. Yeah, you got the best time, mate, out of all of us. All right, let's have a look through. Have we been tracking Bradley's lifts? Now, Bradley, have we? It's been a couple of weeks now since we've been to the gym together. But out of all the lifts that we've done, what lift is your favorite? You like bench press? You like pull downs? You like rows? You like bicep curls? Which one has been your favorite?
Push the legs with.
Oh, he likes legs. He likes the leg press.
I can lift up to like 50.
Because you're leg pressing 50 kilos, no worries at all. Yeah, so you like that. He likes the numbers that he can do on the leg press.
Yes.
50-kilo leg press. Sorry, I had your mic turned down then, Brad. Tell him about your 50-kilo leg press again. What did you do? What did you do to it?
I just lift my legs like this.
Like this. Out of all the upper body ones, what's your favorite?
It's so many. There's so many good ones. I like the one where you can do this and
Bench press?
Yeah, and you turn it.
Oh, you like it? Yeah, on the Smith machine. You like bench pressing on the Smith machine? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Granddad has said, Brad, look, haha, fishing for sure.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm happy about that.
We get flathead for dinner, hey? Nice.
Hopefully I don't get pulled off the side of the boat like it happened last time. Almost.
It was a small fish last time that
Yeah,
almost
it
pulled
was
you
a
off, wasn't
baby
it?
fish.
It was a baby fish, but it packed a punch,
Yeah, it was
pound
like
for pound.
It was this little, and it almost pulled me off the boat. And then I
And
caught a
then
one
you caught
this
a giant
big,
flathead,
did
and it
nothing.
didn't. Yeah.
Probably because it didn't hit the ground.
Yeah. Hey, Griggy, I will answer that question. I know I kind of answered it earlier, but there weren't many people in here. But what are my thoughts after the Ron Barth match? Do I feel that it's not that far off? Yeah, look, I honestly felt like I was maybe. Yeah. I just turned you down because you're playing with a mic. Okay. I'll turn it back up. Okay. Don't play with that. Anyway, the answer to the question is I felt like I was a couple of percent off. Like there was round one, in terms of our peak force, we were really, really, really similar. Ready go happened, and we just stayed center. And I actually achieved the hand control that I wanted. It stayed center. It went a little way his way. I put in an offensive surge. It went a little way my way. And it was actually, interestingly, I think that I should have just stayed at center. I shouldn't have even tried to go on the offense. Because as I went on the offense, as I leant over, Ron's side pressure actually broke through then. And it was my own offense that put me in a position where his side pressure was able to crack through. The truly impressive thing was not his peak force, but his ability to sustain that force. He could sustain it for longer than I could, and that was the true difference. But in terms of peak force, like I feel like give me a couple more percent, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% more, and I would have got the job done. As it went on, then round 2, I tried the hook, and I got some stops in the hook. It took him about 4 or 5 surges to pin me. I didn't want to try the same thing 3 times in a row. So every round I did something different. The first round was a deep grip top roll. Second round was a deep grip hook. Third round was a shallow grip top roll. And the third round was actually the least successful round in terms of the way it played out technically. If I had my time again, instead of doing the shallow grip top roll, I would have just gripped deep again like I did in round 1. And because Ron was starting to worry. Ron was fading. His hand was fading. He called timeouts to extend the break between rounds, and he had Tim Bresnan in his corner, really working on his hand, and I could sense that Ron's hand was going. If the match had been longer, I think that, like RVJ said to me at the end of it, he said it wasn't until they literally called the final pin that he was certain that Ron was going to win. Ron was gassing. So I think that I'm real close at the end of the day. Like, yeah, I'd love a rematch in 6 months or something like that. That'd be great. But that's how that went, and I was pretty happy. Did I see any of the tournament pulling whilst I was there? I was watching a bit of it on the live stream. How did Connor Sale do, or how would Connor Sale do with our top 75, 80 kilo pullers? Yeah, look, Connor and Matt Smith were phenomenal. Match of the night. Their matches was the most brutal match I've ever seen. Full stop. It was crazy. I didn't grip Connor, so I don't know what Connor's level is, but his ability on the table, his commitment on the table is amazing. I'd love to see him pull our top guys for sure. Switch up, thank you very much, man. He says solid performance. Really thought you were going to win that one. Any idea of your next match? Look, I can't tell you guys yet. We'll just have to wait and see. Look, announcements soon. We'll just leave it at that. Auden versus Bradley in 2030. Yeah, maybe. That Auden is Devon Larratt's son, Bradley. That's who they're talking about there.
Oh no.
You want to take on Devon Larratt's son in
I'm okay.
6 years' time?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
He'd be 25 and you'd be 16. I think you'd need a couple more years.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Mario versus Auden, best of 6. What do you reckon? No, Mario, clean that one up. Auden's not at that level yet. I don't believe it. He's still young, still working. He's not working it out. He's still just developing the conditioning. I think that Auden's a touch below Mario. Mario is going to be facing Mario's at Knuckles Up on May 11. Why am I having a blank of who he's against? Jason Merlo. There it is. And I think that Mario will win that match. And I'm sure Jason Merlo would beat Auden at this stage. But Auden is obviously very promising. Very promising. Dad Bod, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for all your relentless support. Always appreciate it, brother. Good to see you. What else we got? Here's a good question. Hayden's asking, do I think I'm ready to beat Mate Iwarangi? He's looking strong. He had a win over there in Ireland on the weekend, and he, will be featuring in the AWE 8-man tournament that is on in just 2.5 weeks' time. That's going to be broadcast live and free right here on my YouTube channel. Look, the short answer is, I think I'm ready. I do. I think I'm going to beat Mate Iwarangi. Look, I put my belt on the line, which, hang on. This one right here. Well, that's the Intercontinental. This belt right here is on the line. Okay, I won this by defeating Mazahir Saidu, and I'm putting this on the line against all comers at this 8-man tournament. So if anyone is good enough to take it off me, I'll take my hat off to him. But I'm ready. I think I'm ready for Mate Iwarangi. Last time he beat me, but it was a war. And this time I have the style adjustments in my head that I wish I had done last time. And I'm confident I can do it. Hey, Mr. Peanut, thanks for cracking the whip on everyone hitting the like button. Appreciate it, guys, if you do hit it. It always helps with the algorithms and all that sort of stuff. Thanks, man. Adam says you did quite good. You're ever so slowly getting there. Yeah, I appreciate, like Ron said to me afterwards, he said, dude, you're doing everything right, just keep on going. He said his peak was between 40 and 45, just keep on going. So I have no problems with just keeping on going. I truly do enjoy the sport, and you can see what's happened for me over the last 11 years. I'm very different now than 11 years ago, that's for sure. So we're going to keep on going. I appreciate the comment. Edward says, Ryan, you aren't far off, brother. Your hand was there at the beginning. Looked tough to stay high against him as well. Yeah, Ron had a longer arm and a bigger hand than me. That did make it tricky and relentless side pressure. But I did persist with going over the top, and so I was able to crack his wrist in round 1 and 3. So I was happy with that. Yeah. All right. What else we got? Kahu's over there in Western Australia. Good to see you, man. Port Hedland. Been watching you for years, mate. You're a beast. Next time you'll be a lot stronger. I appreciate that, Kahu. Thank you very much, brother. Hey, Spermies. There we go. I got to meet Spermies when I was over there. Spermies and I actually shared a taxi from Dublin Airport out to Carlingford. Good to meet you, brother. Hope you traveled home safely, all that sort of stuff. Thank you for your support as always, man. Appreciate it. I wonder how RVJ would have done against Ron. Yeah, look. I think RVJ and Ron are both very similar level arm wrestlers. I mean, RVJ has the utmost respect for Ron. He talking with him over breakfast the day afterwards. He was like, Ron has been his personal hero in arm wrestling since the beginning, and I have no doubt they would be an amazing match if they were to face as well. Like I said, you're going to see Ron on the big stage again very soon. And like I said, when you see his opponents and all that sort of stuff, you'll realize his level. When's the big announcement coming? I can't tell you when the big announcement's coming, but it's coming soon. It's not far away, Victor, and you'll get a big announcement from me on my next match. It's not far away. That's all I can say. What else is going on? Just reading through the chat. There you go. Gabriel Young has said he thinks Hamza would still beat Orton. Interesting stuff. Gabriel Young, of course, has the data on the Larratt family having had a super match with Milo recently, I think, and pulled Orton as well, obviously, on the practice table and whatnot. And yeah, Hamza is Australia's junior champion. Complete stud. Absolute complete stud. How much thicker is my right wrist compared to my left? Yeah, look, I don't know the exact measurement of my left, but I mean, you can just see it. The right wrist is definitely different to the left. It's bigger. All right. Lachlan Carpenter, a new beast at 130 kilos. Yeah, he is. He's in this 8-man draw too. And yeah, he says he's coming for that belt. So we saw what happened last time I pulled him. He got the victory over me in that tournament. Yeah, and which was a casual tournament for me. This AWE tournament is a very serious tournament. I'll be picked for it nicely. So I can't wait to clash with Lachlan Carpenter again. Absolutely. When do I think Orton would give a good match to the Burnett boys? Look, I actually think that right now, the Burnett boys and Orton's a good match. I would have Orton as the favorite due to his leverage over the Burnett's. Sam Burnett's a phenomenal 80-kilo arm wrestler. Really, really good. Really high level. But the leverage of Orton would be problematic, and Orton's heavier, taller, all that sort of stuff. So I think Orton would win that match. But I just when I say Orton's not at the level yet, he's not at the level yet of people his same weight that have been arm wrestling against adults in the professional leagues like Mario Tambakis. But Sam Burnett, absolutely, Orton would do well. What do we got? I'm confused by this one. I saw you making the appearance during one of the lives with your mask. I don't know what that means. Anyway. Shout out from the Warlock Arm Wrestling in Canada. It's getting real. Go Blue Dragon. Go. Man, Mark, right? I appreciate you, man. You are probably the most consistent dude in the world that shares my content. So thank you very much, Mark. Right now I know your name. I always just saw it Warlock Arm Wrestling. Now I know it's Mark Wright. Thank you very much, brother. I really do genuinely appreciate it. Your support's been amazing. Gods of War says 28 likes, 83 watching. Come on, guys. All right. Yeah, hit that. Oh, we got 100 there now. Hit the like button for me. Let's see if we can get that up right now. We'll crack the whip. We got 46 likes. Let's get it to 60 likes for me in the next 10 seconds. Let's see if we can do that. 10, 9, Bradley. 8. Is it going to get to 60? 7, 6. Is it going to get to 60? 5, 4. Come on, guys. Help me out. 3, 2, 1. There we go. We got there. We got there. I had to do the slow walk in, but thank you very much. We got there. Actually, did I say 6? Yeah, there we go. 65. All good. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Bit of fun. That just reminded me of, remember when we did the live show when we hit 100,000 subs? Yeah. That was really cool. Yeah. How can you train under me, man? Look, Vibe Have. You can jump on my Instagram if you want to get coaching from me. You can do it via the Instagram subscription, or you can move to Brisbane, and then I'll help you. Paul Talbot left for AWE. I did see him smack around Artem on the left. Paul Talbot's real deal. He's always been at his weight the best guy in North America for many, many years. A lot of respect for the left arm of Paul Talbot. Absolutely. All right, what do we got? Oh, we got a super chat. There we go. Thank you very much. Dad Bod, super sticker, 99 cents. US dollars. Thank you, man. He says 3 evergreen trees. 3 evergreen trees. Or did you? Okay, I'm guessing it was a sticker. Hang on, that was a picture of 3 evergreen trees, as opposed to you typing it. It's just that this platform has written it instead of made it appear. But thank you, I appreciate it, Dad Bod. You're the man. David Simpson says Ron's last practice was with my team. I thought if you won, I would have been super impressed. Ron is very strong right now. Yeah. Well, Tim Bresnan said to me before the match, he said, dude, I trained with Ron 3 weeks ago. And he said, I trained with Ron a month and a half ago, and he said I could open his hand up. And then he said, then I trained with him 3 weeks ago, and he said I couldn't move him. And Tim Bresnan said, look, it came up to me afterwards and said, look, you've earned my utmost respect because I know what level Ron's at right now. And Ron said to me that the level he was at when he faced Matt Mask, he thinks I would have beaten him. He said that when he lost to Matt, it really put a fire under him to go back and start training again. And he said he was in good form. So I'm happy with that. I know I'm in good form at the moment. So arm wrestling is one of those things where a lot of people think that a lot of people make the mistake of judging arm wrestling by your last match. And if you won, cool. You're on the way up. If you lose, you should quit. Arm wrestling is not like that. It's a cumulative game. It's really rare to have someone just win, and keep on winning. Like a lot of people don't recognize that about the sport, but it's truly a momentum building sport as opposed to a need to win every time sort of sport. And if you arm wrestle, you'll know that, you'll feel that within your bones that it's a momentum building, it's a conditioning, a gradual increasing of conditioning over time, and a loss drags you up as much as anything, even more in terms of conditioning. So it's definitely not a sport like that. Like my last 11 super matches, I've won 6 and lost 5. That's it. And if you look at where I'm at now compared to those 11 matches ago, it's chalk and cheese. 11 match, the version of me now versus the version of me 11 matches ago, man, the version of me now would smoke that earlier version. So it's in a constant accumulation. Yeah. All right. What else we got? Let's have a look. What was my actual weight? So Ron, you saw the unofficial weigh-in where Ron was 118 and I was 111. That was with food in our bellies, clothes, wallet in our pockets, shoes on. Ron made the 110 the next morning in his jocks. If I had gotten to my jocks, I would have been like 104. So yeah. Like right now, sitting here with clothes, with belly full of food, I'm 105 on the dot. So that we had about a 5 to 6 kilo difference essentially. All right. Do I play League of Legends? I don't. Bradley might. Do you play League of Legends, Brad? No, Bradley doesn't play it either. Right now, if you could have a match against anyone on any stage, who would it be and why? There's a good question, Hayden. Look, if I could only have one more match ever, like I want to kind of twist this question about, because I don't want to just say who I'd like next, because I know that person's in my head and I can't announce it yet. I already know who it is. So it's hard for me not to be obsessed with that. But I'm going to rephrase the question to it. If I was only permitted one more match and that's it, who would I pick? I would pick Todd Hutchins. That would be my dream match. I do dream about that. That is when I say I want to get to the 105 kilo world title. I know that Todd may be the world champion at the time. He may be 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. He's always going to be up there. I look forward to the day that I've earned the right to fool Todd Hutchins. That's a big one for me. But yeah. And where? I don't really mind which stage, any of them. Any of them. Good question, though, Hayden. I appreciate it. Hey, Spermies is gifting memberships. Legend. Gifted 5 memberships of How to Win at Arm Wrestling. Thank you, Spermies. You're the man. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. So for those, I think Victor E., Anthony, Mike Watson, David Simpson, and Atlantis all received the membership. That's very cool. Look, in there, guys, you're going to see all the videos that I've done, the videos on the coaching. So I go through it's quite an extensive series in there as well. So, and you'll get also access to any of the lives that we do as well. But awesome stuff, man. Spermies, thank you very much for that. That was I didn't even know that you could even do that on the YouTube channel. That's how long I've been out of the live game, but I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Atlantis is saying thank you as well. Yeah, and Mike's saying thank you. Good stuff. Would I ever have a match with Daniel Pervin or Kyle Howarth? Both are super strong right arms. Sam, look, yeah, look, I've had many matches with Kyle Howarth. I've had matches with Dan Pervin as well. I would always happily pull them again. Yeah, they're both studs. Dan Pervin would kill me on the left. I know that he's a left specialist. I think I'd be fine against them both on right, but I know that Kyle in the overall ranks in Australia is like right on the edge of the top 10. And Dan, it's been some time, but I think that Dan's always dangerous. He's a tall dude, big top roll. He's kind of like that Bowen Contado style. But yeah, I'd happily pull him, man. What else we got? The Drew. Look at this. He's been a member. Now, look, we're talking about members. This man here, I think, is the longest serving member of this YouTube channel for 37 months at the How to Win at Arm Wrestling level. Says message, Arm Wrestling is the best community in the world, and Arm Gods are who. And yes, I'm a Bowen fanboy. I appreciate it, Drew, man. You genuinely are a stud. The way you support the sport and me has been very humbling. So thank you very much. Yeah. My show is much better than the news station first thing in the morning. Anthony, good stuff, man. It's a big month of arm wrestling, isn't it? Like we have a huge event coming up on April 20th. Of course, East vs West 12. The star-studded lineup there. We know that like the main event, the Devon Levan show, is going to be insane. But look, there's so many other matches on there that are awesome as well. In particular, one that's really actually stood out to me is I'm looking forward to seeing Tobias Sporong up against Kamil Jablonski on the left. Kamil has been wrecking everybody on left, but I feel like Tobias, his side pressure, particularly as we saw it at the last King of the Table, is savage. And I think that he might have enough to get Kamil out of his shoulder. I'm excited about that, amongst many others. And Mario's asking about what do I think about the Todd Lamparelli match? Should be amazing. Yeah, look, Lamparelli is a stud. He's one of those guys that isn't as famous as some of the other guys, but should be. His level's clearly up there. I think this is Michael Todd's match to win or lose. I think that Michael Todd's getting back to a good shape. He lost his way for a while, injuries and who knows what. But I feel like he's coming back, and I think that it's his match. I think it's his match. So I think that the King's move is going to come out to play, and it's going to look good. What else we got? Thoughts on Lachlan Carpenter versus Bowen for left and right hand. Look, I think that Lachlan Carpenter is ahead now. I think he's starting to reach the level. I had a super match with Lachlan Carpenter maybe a year and a half ago, and I didn't need to rest from my training. I didn't need to really prepare for it, and I still won. I did that again at the most recent AWE tournament that we had, and Lachlan crushed me. So he has leveled up. I was like, oh, okay, I can't be casual with Lachlan Carpenter anymore. So I think Lachlan Carpenter is there. He's very hungry. He's 130 kilos. He's very consistent in his training. He moves well. He's got great intuition. He hits hard. I think he's the next big threat to the top ranks of Australia. All right, let me just have a look through the comments again. What do we got? That's a 176. Oh, here we go. Interesting question. Do you think from Newman Norian, do you think Lachlan has leveled up enough to make a competitive match against Irakli? That's an interesting one. I know that Lachlan, in his long-term journey, wants to get back and avenge the loss that he took to Irakli at King of the Table 5, I think it was. Not yet. But Lachlan's, I think the gap is less now than it was. I think Irakli would still win because Irakli's still progressing as well, and his top roll and back pressure is really significant. I think he's got more raw back pressure than anyone else in that 105 kilo division. That said, I do think Lachlan has taken big strides forward. I think he hasn't yet got officially into the top 10 in the world for 105 kilos, but I think he will do that this year. I think you'll see his name absolutely, unequivocally, beyond doubt, in the top 10 of the 105 kilos this year. He's found a home there. He's a match against David Arabuli was outstanding, really solid performance. And David Arabuli was 115 kilos. Lachlan was 105, and he looked fantastic. So I think that Lachlan's in great form. It kind of excites me too because when Lachlan was really big, he was too strong for me. Now he's coming down to 1.5. I'm like, ooh. All of a sudden, I'm like, hang on, I might be able to get a win on Lachlan soon. But there won't be any super matches or anything between me and Lachlan. We definitely work best just training together. Yeah. Josh, I agree, man. I appreciate it. No one really gets me besides Lachlan Adair. I think that when in a prepared super match, I'm pretty certain I've got the number 2 spot locked up at the moment. But yeah, we'll see. Can I beat the beast? We'll find out April 13. Joseph Crutchley. Mate Rangi's in that 8-man AWE tournament. I will be there defending the AWE belt. And I have no doubt that Mate Rangi is going to be the man to beat in that one. So, yeah, we'll find out. I think I can do it. Will we ever see a rematch of me and Coach Ray? No. You'll never see it because I'm not going down in weight, and I don't think it's possible for him to get to my weight. What you will see, and I'll promise you this, I'll promise you that Coach Ray and I will grip up in a scenario just on a side table pull. That I can promise you. That I really, really, really can. I'm sure that Coach Ray and I will be in the same part of the world again at some stage, and we'll grip up. And you won't need anything more than that. But no, we won't have a match. There's no way. Victor, I've been waiting for someone to ask it. The big question, Ryan, who do you think, Devon or Levan? Now, this has been a very troublesome question for me. If I was to plot on a chart my confidence level, if Levan was up here and Devon was down here, or whichever way you want to put it, the X or the Y axis, I would say that 12 months ago when Levan was out of action, injured, and Devon was just emerging and pushing his way through all these European names and looking monstrous. When he beat Hermes the way he beat Hermes, right then and there, I was really believing Devon was going to beat Levan. And then I saw Levan wake up. And what I mean by that was he just got motivated again. He started training. The numbers he moves in the gym, the thickness of his wrist, the mental focus and commitment, you can see his intent is there. I think that Levan is once again the favorite. But if I had to pick a winner and my life was on the line, it'd be Levan. But I'll tell you this, I would be really nervous. Really nervous. I think Devon has a genuine chance of winning this. Like, it's a big percentage. It's not like a 5% chance. I feel like Devon has about a 40% chance of winning this. And a 40% chance is a big wedge in the door. It's a big opportunity for Devon to do what Devon does. So I'm sitting about there. I think Levan will win it. I think the smart money bets on Levan, but it's a scary bet. That's how I feel. How do I feel like Lockie will do against Paul Lynn? And if he takes the win, who do you think is next for Lockie? Again, I know the answers to a lot of these questions, but I can't say it. I'm not going to say who's next for Lockie. But what I can say is, how do I think he'll go against Paul Lynn? I think he will do well. I think Lachlan is a step up in horsepower from Paul Lynn. And that's no disrespect to Paul Lynn, but Paul Lynn, I think, is like best suited to that 95, 97 kilo range, where Lachlan's a really lean 105. A lot of people mistakenly think Lachlan's short. Lachlan is 6'2". Okay, Paul Lynn is maybe 6 foot. So when you think about Lachlan's build, because he's such a tank, he's got big shoulders, he's got massive biceps, massive forearms, thick wrists. Everyone just by default thinks that Lachlan's 5'10". But Lachlan's 6'2". And now, then, when you start to realize that, it starts to make more sense the level of horsepower that he's bringing. 6'2", and it's why a lot of people think that I'm small, because they see me standing next to Lachlan, they see the bulk and the shape and the ratios Lachlan has, and then they think that he's 5'10", and then they think that I'm 5'9.5" or something, and they think I'm skinny. So I blame Lachlan for everyone thinking I'm small, but yeah, I think Lachlan will be too much for Paul Lynn, and I love Paul Lynn, but I do think Lachlan will be too much. Evan, he's asking, are you coming back to commentate at the promotions again? By the way, you put up a damn good fight. Hey, thank you very much for that, Evan. Look, will I be back? I would love to. I would love to. I'm in a position where that's an opportunity again. So we'll soon see. We'll soon see. I can't confirm nor deny or anything like that, but I can certainly say that I'm interested. I do enjoy the commentary, and you're going to see a lot more analysis on this channel as well. I don't know. I'm trying to get a feel for how often I want to do lives and things like that. Maybe a weekly live plus analysis is going to happen from me, and yeah, in country or in studio commentary at some of the major events and all sorts of stuff could certainly be on the cards for the near future. S. Raz has asked, Ryan, if you could train with any 3 people in the world to level up, who would you pick? Yeah, so look, I've had an amazing opportunity to do exactly this through the period of sort of 2017 through 2019. I got to train with Devon, with John, with Todd Hutchins, and with Travis. So I've had the American experience. The only one I've missed out on was really Michael Todd. I would have loved to have trained with Michael Todd as well. So where I'm at now, look, I'd probably say, look, I still would love to spend a period of time training with Michael Todd, just to experience the King's move from his side of things, and sharpen up my movements there. But realistically, if I could train with anyone, look, I would love to go to the Georgian camp for a while. To get into that Georgian camp and train with Levan and Gennady and Rivaz and Irakli, and that group of people would be outstanding. If not the Georgian camp, probably the Bulgarians. I mean, people like Krasimir Kostadinov, Jordan Sonev, they're phenomenal. I watched Jordan Sonev at Arm Gods, and he looked so strong. It was unbelievable. So I have a lot of respect, and I haven't had the exposure or the opportunity to really train with the Eastern European guys. So that would be where I would be heading, probably to Georgia. Who wouldn't, though? Seriously. Khan wants me to drop 2 weight classes, Ryan. All the champs in the weight classes are lean as. You will be very high ranked as a lean 85. You're facing guys with more muscle than you and with bigger frames. I think, Khan, you'd be surprised if you stood next to me how big my frame is, man. Like I said, I'm 6'2", or I'm a touch off 6'2", and yeah, no, 85 kilos is not achievable for me. 100% not achievable. Just go and have a look at me when I was 90 kilos against Coach Ray. I look sick. I look skinny. I look like a cancer patient. I look terrible. It's not the case. Look, the absolute lowest I could get and still feel good would be 100 kilos. I'm not that. My frame is not as small as you think it is, man. But thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. I didn't see the Nonya match against Paul Italia, but I heard Nonya won. Nick's asking it. Hello, Ryan. What do you think will happen if you face Levan with a hustle strap? I think I need more than the hustle strap against Levan. We've talked about this before. This was about a year ago. I remember saying, "Oh, there's a position somewhere. There's a starting position somewhere where I could pin Levan. Like, is it him start with his wrist cracked and me strapped up there and his fingers like that? Could I pin him then? Like, there's a spot somewhere where I could, and it'd be a funny training pool to find out where that is. But no, the hustle strap alone would not be enough for Levan. He obviously would hold on to me outside of straps. Drew24 is asking about Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is interested in a super match versus Mario. He was close when they pulled last tournament. Yeah, he did really well. He almost defeated Mario. But Jordan just had a super match against Andy Boskovic, and Andy Boskovic crushed him. So I think Jordan would need to really peak again. I don't know what state he's in at the moment, but Jordan's a very talented arm wrestler, and when he's on, he's very difficult to beat. What else we got? Mike Watson says, "Good to hear that you will grip up with Coach Ray again, even if it's only for some practice, because I want to see you make him respect your strength like I know you can." Oh, look, Coach Ray and I are on good terms. There's no dramas there. And Coach Ray's level's good. Like, don't get me wrong, he's very high level. I watched him have that war with Tom Holland, and like Tom Holland's a stud. Coach Ray is not a pushover by any stretch in any way. But at this weight, at this weight, I'm certain I'd be fine. But yeah, we'll do it on the side table. Drew's got Devon winning at 51%. You're brave man, Drew. Brave man, but I agree. It's scary. 51% means you're scared. I ultimately don't know, but you have this inkling, and I agree. It's like that. But I have it toward Levan. Hey, what do we got? The Goat Mario is asking question. Do you believe you're the strongest you've ever been at this point, or a previous form of you would have beaten Ron? No, I'm definitely at my best now. I have zero doubt that I'm at my best now. I feel that the years are adding up in such a positive way. I've been blessed to be injury free. I have no major injuries at all in my 11 years, and my conditioning is getting better. My strength's getting better. My overall body strength's getting way better. I'm definitely at my best right now. So last time, Victor is asked, to give good perspective, you said 60-40 Levan now. What was it last time? Last time, I feel, I'm sure someone could go back and check my predictions last time to be accurate. But last time, from memory, I feel like it was maybe like a 20% chance that Devon was going to do it. But yeah, I definitely feel way more like this is an actual genuine match now than last time. Yeah, Drew says many don't think RBJ is that tall either. Yeah, RBJ is 6'2" as well. And yeah, like I said, when you get these guys with massive biceps, big hands, big shoulders, you think that they're short. It's just the default. But RBJ is the same height as me and Lachlan. We're all just a touch under 6'2". Like, I'm in centimeters, I'm 185.8 centimeters barefoot. So if I put shoes on, I'm 6'2". If barefoot, I'm 6'1.5". That's pretty much how it is. Yeah. Have I beaten the beast ever before, Joseph? I have had a 3-3 draw with him in a super match once before. I've had 2 super matches with him. One was a draw, and the other one he beat me. The Drew, what is my riser lift max? I think it's about 40 kilos, 41 kilos, 42 kilos, something like that. I haven't seen Irakli do my lift yet, Leandro Almeida. I'm sure he could do more than I'm doing. Irakli, the back pressure, rising pressure is his thing. Yeah. English professor wants to know, isn't the press the most efficient style since you use your chest and shoulder? Okay, look, it's no, I'm going to say no, because using your chest and shoulder is only relevant if your hand can stay with it. Now, even though you'll say, hang on, but Kamil Jablonski just lets his hand go. Okay, you still have to have your pronation. So a flop press doesn't work if you're getting pronated over or you're losing your pronation. So look, you could easily say that if someone else has got wrist flexion, that lats and rear delts are more powerful than a chest. Like you can pull more than you can push. But look, I don't think there is a one most efficient style. It's too many variables. Too many variables. C-Mac wants to know, how's my bench and deadlift these days? Doing many pull-ups? I get why some people say 85 kilos for you, but being in a calorie deficit for a long period sucks. 100 kilos is as low as you should ever go. Yeah, C-Mac, sounds like you've met me and seen me in person. 85 kilos is just not achievable for my frame. Not even close anymore. How's my bench and deadlift? I haven't been deadlifting because I had the back injury. So the closest thing I'm doing to deadlifting is rack pulls, bent over rows, those sorts of things. So I'm doing bent over rows or rack pulls with 140 kilos for reps of 6 to 8. I feel pretty good doing that. Pull downs, I can do close grip pull downs. I'm doing 130 kilos for a good few reps, no dramas at all. My bench press, I haven't traveled up to do a 1RM in a while. My 1RM record is 142.5 kilos, but I can bench press 120 kilos for sets of 4. So it's going all right. It's going all right. What do we got here? House and entire bank account on the line. 2014 A1 Russian version of Saplenkov against 2022 Levan that faced Devon over 6 rounds. Trying to remember back to the two. I only found the sport in 2013, so I'm just trying to remember what form Saplenkov was in then. Look, I think Levan has hit the peak of strength. I really do. I'd go Levan. Non-believing believer says, good to hear your sexy voice again. Miss your podcast with your funny Aussie friend. Hey, thanks for the support, man. I'm going to be live for the East vs West. There's no way I'm going to miss that. So hope to join you all then too. But thank you for the support, brother. Do I think that Devon could get injured? Of course. This degree of force, injury is always possible. We saw it last time. Okay, I'll dispel this myth here. Is it just me or you stopped doing some heavy gym lifting you've done before under Lachlan's guidance, or is it just because you have that additional traffic job? No, I'm in the gym. I'm doing all the lifts. I'm just not posting them, guys. So you are only seeing what I'm posting, which is just you got to recognize that part of my career as a social media entity is to create content that succeeds. And gym lifts don't succeed. To be honest, they don't. They just don't succeed algorithmically. Where doing this interesting lift does, because it's obscure to the rest of the world. And so algorithmically it works. So I'm doing 5 days a week in the gym. I'm doing 7 days a week single heavies. I'm doing 7 days a week of 30 minutes of medium hand on pronation, curl, rise, chop, all that sort of stuff. And once a week table time. So I'm doing all this. So I see a lot of people say, oh, Ryan doesn't do any structured training. It's not true. It's not true. I'm doing it all. How much difference does a hustle strap make? Hustle strap makes a pretty big difference. To the person with the buckle side, their pronation doesn't connect anymore. So they just have to use wrist flexion alone, and it gives the person who's on the good side real freedom. Like it actually enhances their pronation even more. So the hustle strap makes a big difference. It really does. Especially if it's a tight strap. If it's a loose strap, it won't make much of a difference. But in a tight strap situation, the hustle strap is mega. What do I think I need to beat Ron in a rematch? You know, like when I analyze my performance on that, I felt like I was very close. Even with no strength difference, I feel like if we went again, I could possibly beat him. We were that close in power in round one that a couple of different strategic or tactical decisions could have resulted in me winning that match. I attacked a little too early in round one. I feel like had I have just stayed a little bit closer to my shoulder and just been a little bit more patient, and when Ron went sideways, what I did was pronate. Okay, but his long arm, I didn't recognize that he had so much side pressure from a flat wrist position. He's got a very long arm and he came forward and he had a lot of side. So for me, instead of pronating when the opportunity was there, I would high hook instead. So instead of top rolling, I would high hook. And I think that even with no strength upgrades, I could possibly beat Ron now that I have the data on the shape. But if I had to work on beating him, look, the biggest and the most obvious difference was he had an ability to sustain side pressure. That was the difference between he and I. Peak force, we were very similar, as is seen in round one, where we just lock and stay at center. They say ready, go, and we virtually don't move. But it was his ability to sustain that force that was the difference. So I would like to increase my sustained side pressure. And a few tactical decisions to come forward into a high hook instead of a top roll. That's what I'd change. What else we got? Just reading through comments. Do I think powerlifting strength transfers into arm wrestling? If yes, how much? Well, Cruz Santa, what I will say first of all is strength is never a weakness, but strength can be a curse. If you are a really good arm wrestler and then you go and learn powerlifting, it'll translate really, really well because you're a really good arm wrestler and you know how to get that strength into the table. But if you're a super strong powerlifter and you're a brand new arm wrestler, then that power is not going to translate. So it really depends on how good of an arm wrestler you are and how conditioned your joints are to be able to handle the strength. So generalized powerlifting strength, if you are already a conditioned and talented and experienced arm wrestler, it'll translate really, really well. Yeah. So it's not a black and white, but good question. I appreciate it. Do I think that Devon will be able to slip against Levan? Yes, I do. Or Phil Woody's just dropped an Arm Gods Valhalla 4 teaser promo. Interesting stuff. I'll go and have a look at it, Phil Woody, after this. Good stuff. I appreciate. Oh, wrong comment. I appreciate that, Evan. Yeah, I do feel it's close, man. Yeah, Tall Paul wants to know: did Ron really almost beat up Beer Man and Uncle John? I don't think Ron was a fan of the theatrics. I think Ron's been around a lot of decades. He's been arm wrestling 42 years, and I think he's someone who spent a lot of time getting the sport out of pubs and trying to be seen as professional. So I think that he saw that as a pub thing. But so I don't think he was a fan. But yeah, I don't think he was beating him up. But he wasn't a fan of the theatrics. There we go. All right, I have made it down to the bottom of the comments. Hang on, a few more coming through right now. Ibrahim's asking, have I always been thick boned, or were you a skinny kid growing up? What were you weighing when you were a teenager? I haven't always been thick boned. Arm wrestling has changed me. I have no doubt about that. As a kid, I was a tennis player. I couldn't tell you what my bones were then, but when I found arm wrestling in 2013, I weighed 87 kilos. I then cut down. I thought, oh, I'll be best competitive in the under 80 kilos. So I dieted down to 80 kilos and competed there. After a while, I eventually said, all right, go back to your normal weight. And I embraced the 95 kilo category, even though I wasn't 95 kilos. And on average, over the 11 years, I've put on 2 kilos a year since starting. So that's what's going on for me. I do have my dad. If you look at the genetics of my dad has huge wrists. My dad has a massive head, thick neck. The genetics are there, but arm wrestling has changed me, and the evidence of that is my right compared to my left. My right wrist is thicker than my left, so that can only be due to the environment. That's yeah. What are good genes for arm wrestling? I would say the propensity for strength is an important thing. Not everyone has it. Not everyone has hardened muscles. Some people might be big in appearance but not have the ability to connect genuine strength. So I don't think it's necessary. Like all shapes, all body shapes can be good at arm wrestling. You can have big hand and be successful. You can have a small hand and be successful. You can have a long arm, short arm, anything in between and be a world champion. So it's not the shape of the arm or the hand that matters. It's the propensity for strength. It's the ability to have dense muscle fibers and connective tissue that can translate that force through the joints into the opponent's hand. So good genetics is that. I think that's what matters more than anything. Any shape will do. The questions are getting weird now, guys. Send through questions if you got them for me. I'll keep answering them. But at the moment, I'm at the bottom of the barrel, so we're answering questions like this. Cobra File says, if the average guy gets slapped by Levan, do you think he'd survive? No. I think Levan. I think if you took 100 average guys off the street and Levan slapped every one of them, I think 10 of them would die. 30 of them would be hospitalized and potentially just with a broken spine. The other ones would all be knocked out, but survive. Yeah. What's going on with Chris? He's asking, hey, Ryan, any recommendations for someone who wants to get better at this sport but can't find people to train with? I live in a remote area, not sure what to do. Any suggestions? Look, you do. It is important that you develop the skills. Like you have to get on the table, travel to places that have experienced arm wrestlers. If not, you can grow a club yourself. When I started in Brisbane, there were only 3 people in my state that were interested. But we turned that into now hundreds. And we did that for me back in the day. It was me and those other 3 guys. We met up once a week and we created a little Facebook page that was and we put up a little banner. We arm wrestled in a public space so people who walk past would see it and be intrigued. And they'd come up and stop and we'd recruit them. And the club grew. So you can always do that. But it is important for you to get an opportunity to group up with experienced arm wrestlers. You need that guidance. You won't work it out yourself. You'll get okay, but you'll never get really good unless you are guided by someone who has walked the path already. So you need to get that exposure. You need to travel to an experienced arm wrestler. What else we got? I saw a good comment in here. Khan's adding some more from the earlier comment. He says, you are big, Ryan. My point is, imagine yourself as a lean 10%, 95 kilos. You would crush it. Sure, you would lose some strength, but this will be more than offset by the drop off in strength. That, like, in theory, Khan, I hear you, but the data for me and my performance just actually suggests otherwise. I've done this before. I've gone down and been a lean 80 kilos when I was 87. And I did better being a well-fed and competing in the 95s than I ever did at 80. I've done it again. I cut down to 90 for Coach Ray, and I performed terribly, where I then pulled 3 weeks later, well-fed again, up against a bigger, stronger man than Coach Ray, and I won in Bogdan Stojka. So it's my data has been I actually get the best performances when I am carrying a little bit of body fat. It's just where my body has been strongest. I have not yet been able to successfully cut weight and be as competitive as I think I should be. Every time I've tried to do that, it has not been good. So I don't think that is for me. Like maybe if I cut weight using a whole bunch of PEDs or something like that, um, that might do it. But I am not good with my dieting process, so I just don't think 105 kilos. I feel really good there. I promise you, Khan, I will crack into the top 10 of the 105 kilo class. It will happen. That goal, I am like, I'm so certain it'll happen. Don't worry, it's coming. What else we got? The arm historians here. What is it? The first part of that word is cut off. But I got to meet the arm historian, and we took a photo doing this. It was good fun. And so the arm historian's voice that we were all used to, that's actually him. It's not an AI generated voice. That's actually arm historian's voice. And it was good to meet you, man. Hope you had a good time and traveled home safely. Do I think Mario has what it takes to crack the top 2? No way. I'm not going to let Mario crack the top 2. But look, Mario is one of those dudes that is 3, 4, 5. He's somewhere in that range. And so I have to, of course, be respectfully aware that he is hunting that number 2 spot. So yeah, of course he could. He's talented. He's well-rounded. Mario, I feel, is a very similar arm wrestler to me. He just started the sport 3 years after me, so I've got a 3-year head start on him, and I think that's enough to keep me ahead at the moment. But yeah, Mario is a stud. He could definitely at some point in time get to the top. What else we got? So Gerard's making comment about the weight cut there as well. Says, yeah, I think Ryan Rush's cut versus Ray last time. A slow cut, keeping most muscle would be different. Yeah, I'm not good at cutting. I definitely was terrible with that cut. I can tell you what I did for that cut to get to under 90 kilos for that cut. I did 6 weeks of eating 1,000 calories a day in the 6 weeks leading up to the match. Not enough calories there. 6 weeks at 1,000 calories. I then traveled there. I didn't eat food, didn't drink water. I didn't eat food for 4 days, and I didn't drink water for 48 hours. And then I spent 6 hours in a sauna to make weight. That was the process. And it was terrible. What's my opinion on the Australian level now on the world stage compared to 5 years ago? 5 years ago, we didn't have anyone in the elite category. Now I think Lachlan Adair is our first man that is genuinely in the elite category. I'm hoping to join him in that elite category very soon. I think I'm knocking on the door of the elites. I think that people like Mario Tembakis, Lachlan Carpenter in the overall category are just a touch behind me. I think that they, as you'll see, Mario is pulling Jason Merlo at Knuckles Up on May 11th, excuse me. And I think Mario will win that match. So you'll see that he is at the world stage. Lachlan Carpenter in the super heavyweights, I feel, is a similar level. He could pull, like Lachlan Carpenter could pull. I'm trying to think of someone, an American that might be an equivalent. I think Lachlan Carpenter against, like, he would hold his own against someone like Mike Aiello. He would. He wouldn't look out of place against Mike Aiello. In the lightweight division, Jamie Barrett, absolute savage, absolute stud. At 90 kilos, Jordan Davis, very solid. I think that the Australian level is very solid. Actually, at Arm Gods, I had a number of European guys make mention to me that they can see that Australia's legitimately become a decent level now, and it's evolved to a point where they respect it. So I think the world is starting to notice it. Obviously, Lachlan leading the charge, me hopefully not too far behind him, but the depth of Australian arm wrestling is definitely up there now. Absolutely. Where do you see arm wrestling and myself in 5 years? Well, for the sport, I don't think we'll see too much change. I just think we'll see a continued expansion. I think the way entertainment is consumed in the world these days is of social media based. That's going to stay. So there will be still pay-per-views. There'll be, I'm hoping, more Devon Larratts. And what I mean by that is just more arm wrestlers that have a fan base that is big enough that they will alone be a reason a pay-per-view will be successful. At the moment, if Devon's on a pay-per-view card, it sells well. Take Devon off the pay-per-view card and everything drops by 60%. So I think that my hope for the sport will be that in 5 years' time, we'll have maybe 5-10 more guys that are equivalently commanding a fan base of about that 500,000 sort of number, which is about the number that Devon has. He's what is he? It's on YouTube now, 700,000 or something like that. So once we get a few more athletes that level, we'll be in a great place. Myself in 5 years, look, I'd like to be one of those dudes that I just described. In 5 years from now, I hope I've won a 105 kilo world title. I think that's what I would like to do in 5 years' time. Yeah. All right, what else we got? Thank you, Historian said, awesome match at Valhalla. I've yet to see how it looks on video, but in person, it was really fun to watch. Thank you, man. It was fun to do it. I really appreciate it. Lance says, Rom was obviously a bigger opponent. I feel like you really made a valiant effort. Where do you put yourself in 100 kilo ranking? Well, thank you, man. First of all, thank you. Yeah, Ron was about 6 kilos heavier than me on the night, which I have no problem with at all. It's nothing. I never. I mean, I pull people like Matt Daiurangi, Hita Morris, and Marcus Tiro, guys that are 170 kilos on the regular. So someone 6 to 8 kilos heavier than me isn't an issue. But I do appreciate that. Where do I put myself in the 100 kilo rankings? I'm not even sure of who the 100 kilo ranking guys are, but obviously when I think about the 105 kilo rankings, there are a few guys in the 100 kilos that I actually include in the top 10 of 105s, like people like Sasha Andreev, people like Adzimur Zaloyev. Those guys, I think, qualify in the 105. So I don't know the depth. Look, 105 is the thing I'm obsessing over. But I appreciate it. What else we got? Just scrolling through. Who's the 10th rank at the 105 kilo? I think it's about Krasimir Kostadinov. I think he's currently about that number 10. I think that's about it at the moment. Whammo says, Tim Breslin, Ron Barth, and RVJ didn't look anywhere near as tall as they are listed compared to our British guys. Well, Ron's 6'4". I can verify that. He's towering over me. I'm 6'2". RVJ is the same as me. And who else did you say? Tim Breslin. I didn't. Tim Breslin's a big dude in every respect. His head's massive. His chest is really thick. His shoulders are wide. He's not a small man for sure, Tim Breslin. But some tall Brits were over there. The Scotsman that was 6'7" that pulled Matt Daiurangi. James, was it? James Stewart. Nice guy too. Sylvester Stallone. Who here thinks that Bowen should grow? All right, let's create a poll on that. Should I keep the starter poll? Do I grow the mo out? There we go. Do I grow the mo out? Let us know, guys. We've got 125 of you guys in here at the moment. Let me know. First impression on the poll says 75, 89%, 100% almost. it touched 100% there for a moment. But after 19 votes, 65, 68% of you say grow the mo. Look, I have an issue with my beard. I have these gaps. Is it a gap? They piss me off. And I've been thinking I'll grow the mo out and that'll go down through those gaps. And I think I will. My wife's gotten used to kissing me with it. We've got past the hard yards, and so I think she can. But she's the only reason why I would get rid of it. If she said I won't kiss you if you keep that on, I'd get rid of it. But we got through the hard yards, so I think I can grow it now. All right. Just scrolling through your comments again. Hey, I really appreciate that there's so many of you guys on here at the moment. Thank you for joining me. It's been a while since I've been live, so having a bit of fun. Big month in arm wrestling coming up, of course. East vs West 12, not far away. Very exciting. Crimson. What's going on, Crimson? He says, "Yo, Ryan, my country's national arm wrestling competition, or my county's arm wrestling, is coming up. Do you have any advice for me? It's my first competition, not sure what to expect." Okay, arm wrestle safe, cup, drag, lean. Okay, don't come forward with your shoulder. Don't break your arm, and have fun. Don't try to overthink it. Just enjoy it. Take a deep grip, take a high grip, and trust your hand and drag. Do I think Devon even cracks Levan's wrist slightly? He will still pull to pin pad without his outer side pressure. Hang on, let me read that again. Ryan, do you think that even if Devon cracks Levan's wrist slightly, he will still pull to pin pad with his outside pressure? Okay, I think what you're saying there is if Devon cracks his wrist, will he stay outside and be able to pull Levan down? No, I don't think he can. But Devon will create enough opportunities that he'll be able to then ultimately get into his high hook position. And then once he's in his high hook position after having cracked Levan's wrist, then Levan would be in trouble. And it would only be if Levan has a flop press that he could get out of there. So I don't think Devon has just enough pure top roll to take Levan all the way to the pad. Not in the early rounds. Maybe once Levan's gassed, if that happens. Gerard wants to know how's Ethan's level these days. Ethan is becoming a savage. I'm really impressed with Ethan. Ethan is very close to the top 10 overalls now. That young man is arriving in his strength, and he's a very, very technically proficient arm wrestler. He's at the level now where I have to really pay attention. He's scary. So I'm a big fan of Ethan's. Yeah. Do I think I will beat RVJ this year? I think he'd beat Ron Bath, says Dean Gaming. Look, you know me. You know me. Of course, I think I would beat RVJ. I don't ever think I couldn't win a match that I'm in. Like, I know it's a match that's winnable. Like, he just beat James Wall 3-1. I beat James Wall when I pulled him. I beat him 4-3. Look, the thing is, we're in the ballpark. We're in the ballpark. It's going to come down to shapes. It's going to come down to execution. It's going to come down to the little details. And of course, I can pull it off. It'd be crazy not to think I could do it. Yeah. Would he beat Ron Bath? I don't know. I think that'd be a great match too. Ron and RVJ would be outstanding. Anyway, we'll see it this year. Thoughts on Korean arm wrestling, in particular Jumin Kyung. I am not familiar with Jumin, but I am familiar with Bak Seong Yeol, who I did get to pull at Knuckles Up. I've noticed that he's got a match against Tom Holland in his next match at 185 pounds. So a lighter version of Bak Seong Yeol. He was 220 pounds when he pulled me. Look, he was a stud. He was an outstanding arm wrestler. So based on his level, I'm impressed, and I have no doubt that the Korean depth is solid as well. But yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Korean arm wrestling. Devon's cracked 900K. There we go. The big mill coming up soon. This would sell a lot of pay-per-views, wouldn't it? And you know, look, you know, I don't think you should ever rule this one out. Bridges are being mended. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'd be down. I'd so be down for it. If I'm being honest, do I believe the super heavyweight division is out of reach for me? In my current shape, absolutely. Of course it is. What I have adopted is the principle of saying I'm just going to become as strong as I can, and I'm not going to limit myself in my body weight in that process. And wherever that takes me is where it takes me. I feel like I have a good few years where 105 kilos is going to be within range. But if I keep up the average that I have over the last 11 years, which is 2 kilos per year onto my body weight, okay, let's say let's say when realistically is my peak? Look, Devon's at his peak at 49. So let's say I've got another 9 years. So there's another 18 kilos on my body, with the same sort of ratios of body fat and muscle and all that sort of stuff that we've seen over the last 11 years. So if I put on another 18 kilos, I'm roughly, what am I? My true rough walk around is 105 right now. So there you go. It's a 123 kilo me. Is that competitive in the super heavyweights? I think it would be. I think it would be. and I don't have any problems with saying it. I know a lot of people love it when I talk like this because they latch onto it and run around and say, "Oh, look, Ryan's delusional again," and have fun with their little boyfriends. But the truth is, I don't fear that process. That process is what has dragged me all the way from where I started to where I am now. And the truth be told, if you went back and time stamped the delusional Ryan Bowen perceptions, I've gone way past what people used to think was impossible. Way past it already. On multiple chapters, I've done that. So what people feel is delusional and impossible now, I have no problems thinking it's possible. Yeah, I'm not going to stop. That's the thing. I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep training. I'm going to keep loving the sport. I'm going to keep getting better. Only injury will stop it. But I'm not going to electively stop. So if I'm 123 kilos in 9 years' time, and I'm at 49 years, when I'm at 48 years of age, and I'm at my peak, could I be relevant in the super heavyweight division? Absolutely. Mm-mm. What else we got? Reading through. How do I see Data Khan versus Lachlan? Right now, Data Khan too much for Lachlan, but look, Lachlan, I think genuinely is in the top 10 ranks in the world at 105 kilos. I think that he belongs there. He's just got to formalize that, which I think he'll do this year. I think if he beats Paul Lynn and then he wins his next match, that will cement him in the top 10. Data Khan is the current number one at 105, and I think that Data Khan deserves that. I have gripped Data Khan on the side table, and his rise was phenomenal. Was really, really impressive. Yeah. Historian just throwing out there that James Stewart is massive. Yes, he is. And he's a very nice guy, as you say, from Scotland. It was nice to meet him. Yeah, Atlantis. He's not short. Ron's 6'4". Big dude. No after pulls to post. Unfortunately, Drew, I didn't want to after pull due to competing in the AWE tournament, and I just knew it'd be too risky. I've got to get that soreness gone by April 13. There's a most impressive puller that no one's heard of. Oof. My favorite puller that's not really recognized on the world scene is Rickard Bornemann. South African guy who's living in Australia right now. Young guy, still only 19 years. No, 20 years old now, I think he is. But my goodness, he's strong. My goodness. Lachlan, I didn't train last night because I'm still too sore from Ron. But I spoke to Lachlan Adair today, who trained with Rickard, and he said to me, "Dude, Rickard is so strong right now. It's ridiculous." So Lachlan's talking about Rickard like, "Oh my goodness, Rickard." So Rickard for me. But I'm sure there's a lot of them out there, a lot of people that we just don't know about. And that's one of the cool things that those people can march on forward and get themselves known. Who's next? Brandon Wilson? I can't say, but it's a good one. That's all I'll say. It's a good one. I can't say. You'll find out soon. Thanks, Sylvester Stream. I like to stream your Muppets. He says, I appreciate. How many likes we got? We're at 108 likes. That's not too bad. Not too bad. 108 is pretty good. And we got a super chat revenue of $1.52. Very good. 5 new members. Legendary. It's been pretty cool. And look, we just keep on getting more and more and more people. I'm very much looking forward to doing the the live stream during the East vs West one. Ryan, you got to twist the stash. Yeah, I need to get. Hang on, let me move this other way. I don't want to make the audio curl it up. I got some the beard struggle wax upstairs. Oh, that looks. Hang on. Why is this side high and this side not? Hang on a second. There we go. How's that? We're back. Okay. I'm going to get in trouble here. RVJ is not 95 kilos, guys. He's the same weight as me. Exactly. On every scale we ever stood on, he was the same weight as me. At knuckles up, same weight as me. At arm gods, same weight as me. Okay. I'm going to get in trouble. But RVJ is the same weight as me. I'll just say it one more time. At arm gods, at knuckles up, stood on the scales next to me, same weight as me. The stash is on point. Ditch the beard. Yeah, the beard is the first bit of facial hair I could ever grow was this thing. So it's at a further developed chapter. All of this came next, and the last thing is these gaps. They piss me off so much. But I'm trying. I don't know. I'm thinking of growing the stash down into that gap. Yeah. Drew, I hear you, man. I hear you. It is. But it's getting to a level now where it's starting to be okay. Seems like I have bad posture. Yeah, so I definitely do. I have a kyphosis. So you probably seem like 5'11" in real life. No, I'm 6'2" barefoot. If my spine was straight, I'd be 6'3". I have wedge-shaped spine, so no amount of soft tissue therapy, no amount of chiropractic is going to change it. I have wedge-shaped spine, vertebrae, and it's locked in. Lock it in. My opinion on Brian Shaw. There you go. Taking arm wrestling seriously now that he could be retired from strongman. With proper training and time, could take down Levan considering his massive size and strength. In theory, yes. In reality, no. And I say that because he's not an arm wrestler. It would take a long time for Brian to become an arm wrestler that moves well enough to defeat someone of Levan's capable level. Like I said, you got it. Had Brian had been an arm wrestler from the beginning, Brian would probably be the best arm wrestler in the world. If Brian had grown up an arm wrestler, moved like an arm wrestler, was conditioned like an arm wrestler, and became the same size man that he is, he would be better than Levan. But I don't think he can at this late stage catch Levan, despite the obvious potential he has in his hand and wrist and size and grip strength and all those sorts of things. I just don't think he could do it, and it's the curse of strength. And what the curse of strength is when you are already incredibly strong, you have this fundamental blindness to the value of little intricate movements. You can't see them, you don't feel them, because you're just so broadly strong that you use broad brushstrokes. You don't use anything fine. So the best arm wrestlers in the world either arm wrestled as a kid and became a giant, or they were lighter weights where they move well and then have become huge. I don't think Brian can do it. He can become very, 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 very good, but will he ever become the man? I don't think so. Savage Hit is asking, because you're sharing your faith more, how does it come into play when you go into these big matches? Yeah, so for me, I'll never be faithfully praying for or asking for a result. For me, my faith is just a personal relationship with God, and for me, that's what means most in life. Honestly, there's nothing more important to me than feeling connected and like I understand what God wants me to do in this world. So sport for me is one of the things I feel like I've been blessed with. Talent in sport, strength, they're all just blessings. I don't think God has any interest at all in me winning an arm wrestling world title. I think God has an interest in me getting closer to him. And if through arm wrestling that is a process that happens, I think then God likes arm wrestling. But that's kind of how I take it into the matches. It's never. I don't think God's interested in picking which team wins. Not at all. You don't want to pray that God's on your side. You want to just pray that you get closer to God. A good question. I appreciate it, man. What do we got here? Braden, how do you think you'd go against Schoolboy? Also, do you think he's natty? Oh, that's an interesting question. Do I think he's natty? I don't know. I don't pry into things like that with people. I think everybody's answer is no. Well, maybe. Well, it's confidential. That's everyone's answer. And unless you're in that person's intimate circle of trust, you're not going to really know. And do I care? No. How do I think I'd go against him? Well, when he pulled Schoolboy, I saw gaps in his game that I thought I could exploit. Sorry, when he pulled Khaled, not Schoolboy. When Schoolboy pulled Khaled, I saw things that he stuffed up. He was afraid of against Khaled, and he made errors. And I looked at it and thought, I could do that. I could exploit that. So I see pathways where I believe I could beat Schoolboy. Without a doubt, I think I could do well against him. I think if you look at his track record, we've had some pretty similar opponents in recent times. He's done the little Asian tour, Southeast Asian super matches. I've pulled the Korean guys as well. I've had experience with the Southeast Asian guys in the past. I think we're a good match. To hold on or not to hold on? That is the question. I think hold on. Holding on. I remember John Brzenk once said to me, the best way to learn to top roll is to start in the hook. Okay, too many people just ball up and don't hold on. When you hold on, you get those lats, those rear delts involved, and you start pronating. I think that's where the biggest potential is. You may lose when you first start doing that because you just want to run up here. But once you start embracing the ability to hold on and roll, you'll unlock your true potential. In my opinion. But good question. Good question. Historian gripped up with RVJ, said he felt really strong on the table, even the state he was in on Friday. Yeah, well, RVJ's a stud, man. He's one of the best America has ever produced. He's a genuine elite of the sport. That's cool. How we bring up the questions on the screen, DC Gaming. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Glad you're enjoying it. Come and join us for the live when we do the East vs. West 12 commentary. When Devon and Levan last pulled, we had 18,000 people live on my YouTube channel when we did it. So I don't know if we're going to achieve those sorts of numbers again. Maybe. I would love to. It was a lot of fun. DC Gaming. So make sure you don't miss it. And April 20, we're going to be live right here. Tom Holland. Yes, Spermies. Tom is my favorite arm wrestler. I've said that. I said that to a few people. I love Tom Holland's style. He is so much stronger than he looks. Not that he doesn't look strong, but you meet Tom, he's this lanky, tall. He's even though his muscles are popping, they're not huge. Like if you measured his bicep, it'd probably be 16 inches or something like that. But he is so damn strong. It's amazing. And he's resilient. He's been pulling 17 years. And I think that's what has made him who he is. His elbow is amazing. His wrist is amazing. His containment's phenomenal. He's fast. He's also can defend. Tom is my favorite arm wrestler. I would be scared to face Tom. English professor says, are guys like Mendogas and Tom Holland skinny because of genetics or not optimal training? No, that's genetic for sure. 100% genetic. All right, what else we got? How the hell do people confuse delusion with aspiration? It's an interesting one, Evan. Like I said, I don't think that they do confuse it. People just get on the bandwagon of doing what's fun. The internet's a place where people like to talk smack. I almost said another word, but talk smack. We'll just go with that. People like to talk smack. You going to bed, Brad? Where you go? Okay, fair enough. Brad's not going to bed. He's coming back. you close the door, buddy? Bradley, thank you. Yeah, so people, I think the true thing about the delusion thing is that, look, I've always, because I've always been willing to put out my aspirations, and they've always been quite significant. It was just putting out something that was a very, it was low hanging fruit for the crowd of people on the internet that like to mock others. Everyone I've ever met in person that you at one point in time thought I was delusional has come up to me and said, "Dude, I take it all back. I apologize. You're a nice dude. You're a great arm wrestler, and you're actually way way stronger, way more talented than I gave you credit for." That's happened for me repeatedly in my time. So the internet is just a weird place where the low hanging fruit of someone's aspirations, like myself, because I do put it out well and truly in advance. I was someone who I have always done that, not just in arm wrestling. I've done that in all walks of life, in sport in particular, and it's just been me. I've never been afraid to say what I'm aiming for. Um, I've achieved pretty much all the goals that I have said. If you put like a 3 year lag on my reality versus the goals, I've so far I've achieved all of them. Like 3 years ago, 3 years ago, my goals were to be at the high level pro level kind of thing, and here we are now. So I'm at peace with it. It's fine. It's no dramas at all. But yeah, I think there's a good percentage of people who do see it as aspiration. There's a good percentage of people who uh, are, are grabbing onto it. And look, the kind of the sad reality of the human condition is that people only really care and people only really support you when you actually start winning. So there's a big percentage now of people who once thought I was delusional or just about aiming for the level I'm currently at. Um, those people now, when they meet me and see me perform, they come up to me and say, "Wow, dude, yeah, you proved me wrong," and I'm a fan. And so, but there's another current crop who think that my level now is kind of like my start point, and my goal of being a world champion is now delusional. But if and when I become a world champion, which I intend to, those people will say the same thing. But like I said, I think that it's just a bunch of people on the internet, because I put it out so far, that they just can't resist the temptation to try to call it delusional and to get a bit of a dopamine kick by telling a delusional joke and getting the other delusional fanboys to upvote on Reddit or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, that's the reality of it. Bowen versus BLM. That's a match that I was booked for in the WAL prior to COVID. And COVID, I was 10 days away from getting on a plane when COVID hit, and all the travel restriction nonsense happened. Governments around the world freaked out. And anyway, it didn't happen. But that match has been something that has been wanted for a long time. I'd happily pull BLM. I think I beat him convincingly, but I'd happily pull him. I actually was in Bogdan Stoiker's corner against BLM. I like BLM. He's a good dude. But he's been my rival for a long time, so I'm always going to talk a bit of smack against him. But Bogdan Stoiker beat him 3-1. BLM injured himself in the early rounds and went on to fight regardless. So I give him credit for that. But Bogdan Stoiker beat him. I think BLM wants the rematch against Bogdan, but we all know I beat Bogdan too. So if you're growing the mo, you need to invest in some wax. Yep, I've got some wax from the Beard Struggle. By the way, you can enter code ARMWRESTLE for the Beard Struggle. Get yourself 20% off. Tell them I sent you. Yeah, I'm going to grow the mo. I'm going to do it. Ron was way bigger in person, says Spermies. Yeah, he's a big dude. He made me look small. He made me look real small, made me feel small. It's like, oh my goodness, okay. He's elbow to fingertip. His fingers were like up here. All right. Ooh, who have I got? Tom Holland or Beck? Oh. Here's the thing: you always love when someone you beat goes on and does really well. So I would love it if Back won this one, but I think Tom Holland is going to win. I think Back will take control of center. I think Tom is going to have to defend this match, but I think Tom will have enough to defend it. I think this is Back had so much side pressure. Pound for pound, Back's side pressure was the best I'd ever experienced. But Tom's side pressure is savage. Tom's containment and rotation is really his biggest weapon. He sinks down and gets that rotated hook going on. But Back's short and stocky enough that he might be able to get inside it and actually put a block. I think this is a really long, grinding hook war. I think this will be one of the matches of the year. Tom Holland versus Back Song Yul. Buy the pay-per-view. Knuckles up. Rickard is like my version of Khaled. He is, man. Yeah, Rickard is it's so much genetic potential in that young man. It's yeah. Spermy says Bogdan would like a rematch with me. Yeah, you never know. I'm down for it. I'm down for it. Brendan Wilson, all I think that it's going to take for me to get into the top 10 at 105 is time. I believe in the process that I'm in. I believe I have the discipline, the patience, and the ability to do it. I just need to get that bit stronger, and I believe it is just time. It's a matter of time. It won't be long. It's not going to be long. Not going to be long. Yeah, I got no legs, Atlantis. Definitely in that no legs camp. Just check it. Oh, 62% of people in the poll there on the Mo thing. Thank you for everyone who voted on that, by the way. 118 likes so far. Let's see if we can get that up. If you haven't pressed like already for me, hit it now. Let's see if we can get it to 150 likes. Are there 32 of you who haven't got to 150 likes? I'll give you guys 30 seconds to do it. Let's see if you can get it there. 30 seconds time. I'm timing you right now. I'm watching. Hang on. I'm lying actually. I'm not timing, but I'm counting kind of loosely. Let's see if we can get it to 150 likes in the next 20 seconds. Let me down, guys. There's 117 of you in here right now. Let's get it there. Let's get it there. Let's get it there. 150 likes. It's coming up. 6 new members so far. Ooh, 126. We're on the move. We're on the move. You got 10 seconds to go, guys. 10. Let's do it. 9, 8. Come on. 7, 6, 5. Oh, we're getting close. 4. You're going to make me slow count. 3. 3, 2, 134. Come on, guys, need 16 likes in 2.5 seconds. Long 2.5 seconds. 1. And no, we failed. 138. That's not bad. I appreciate it anyway, guys, but well done. 138 likes. Ryan is definitely 6'2", as far as I could tell. 185.8 centimeters barefoot, which is 6'1.5". Put shoes on me, and then it's 60. All right, what else we got? I'm gonna scroll. Hey, K the Code has become a member supporter. Thank you very much, K the Code. Legendary. I appreciate that. John Milne. Hey, John Milne, keep on keeping on, Ryan. Thank you very much for all your support. John, if you didn't know, if you don't know who John Milne is, you should know who John Milne is. John Milne is the man. I'll describe John Milne as John Milne. I gotta be careful what I say here. John Milne is has been a lot of the brains and inspiration behind a lot of things that have come to the arm wrestling world via Devon. I think Devon and John are like best buddies, and I think John is the mischievous one. Devon is the amplifier, but a lot of what you and I enjoy in arm wrestling, whether it be the can opener, whether it be the way that the strap is put on, whether it be social media and the high hookers and the color green and all these different things. A lot of it has been from that man, John Milne. But if you didn't know that, now you do. But John Milne, I appreciate all of your support in the lead up to that match with Ron. Just the general support in believing that I'm on the right track has been really appreciated, and also the specific support you gave me and the guidance to settle my nerves going into that match was very much appreciated. So, John, thank you, brother. I will definitely keep on keeping on. That's for sure. What else we got? How big is Ron's hand? Bigger than mine. I'd say just add 20% in every respect. Ron's skin felt very, very hardened and leathery, like he'd done some time. You know what I mean? 42 years will do that to you of arm wrestling, and I think he was a hands-on worker for a lot of his life. Builds walls or something like that. But Ron, yeah, his hand is big and strong. Victor E says, it's funny to me because guys like you, Ryan, don't look that big on camera when in reality you're huge. I can only imagine standing next to Levan. You got to feel like a kid. Yeah, Levan's another level of human, that's for sure. I think Levan's 6'3", 6'3", 170 kilos or whatever he is, and 11-inch wrists. Yeah, different level of human. Standing next to Vitali is one of the craziest things. Oh no, Kadecha. Kadecha is the biggest of all of them. The frame that Kadecha has is crazy. What else we got? Hey, Brendan Wilson. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's all like all the cliches are true, man. The journey is the thing that's enjoyable. And if you get too caught up with any given goal, any given tier, uh, then any given short term goal, then you set yourself up for failure. The easiest way to stay successful in this sport is to have is for the long term goals to be the thing you're most passionate about. So the goals that I'm most passionate about are 5 and 10 years from now. They're not next month. So a lot of the time people will live and die by their last match. But when you have long term goals and you have a long term journey and a long term story, it doesn't matter. A win, a loss, a win, a loss, whatever. You keep going, and it's easy. It's easy to keep going when it's like that. So that's how I would recommend anyone do it if they want to ultimately succeed long term. Just get most excited about the long term goals. Maxim was at the event. Hello, Maxim. Good stuff. I was in the event. You were in the Maxim Oliver was one of the pullers. Kyle Hutchinson's. I got to meet Kyle. Great effort against Big Ron. I'm sure he was impressed. It was good to meet you. You too, man. You look massive, by the way. Kyle Hutchins is a monster. Very, very strong looking human. I didn't get the grip up with you, but I saw you pulling with Jordan Sonov, and that told me enough. How does Ron compare to Lockie? Very different arm wrestler. Very different. I mean, I think they're a great match. I would have Lachlan as the favorite, but I think they're a great match. Moonlight Sonata. Thank you very much. What's the secret of the splendid moustache? The secret is convince your wife to let you do it. There's this moment where you've got to where the moustache first of all starts just hanging down over your lip, but it's not long enough to go sideways yet, and you look like a real fool. You just look like it's just going down straight over the lip. But if you persist and your wife can accept that you got to go through that ugly phase, and then you probably won't get a kiss from her for a while. Get through that, then you're good, and you run away with it. Who am I looking at next in the 105s? Well, look, at 105, Rob Vigent. Rob Vigent, regardless of what he says, he's 105 kilos. Rob Vigent at 105 is my next match at 105 that I would like. I have another match between Rob and I that I can't tell you about. Not yet. Anyway, I've probably said too much already. Hey, Drew24, thank you for promoting the link tree. Yeah, you can see everything. Yeah, if you want to actually go and enter code armwrestle at the Beard Struggle, I use the Beard Struggle wax. It's good stuff. It smells really good. There's a whole heap of them. Drew's, yeah, the Drew24, only clicking it if my OnlyFans is on there. Terrible. Terrible. I don't think I'd sell much. Yeah, good stuff. Hey guys, it is 12:35 a.m. for me. We've been on for almost 2 hours. I've had a really good time. We've had a peak of 133 people concurrent at one stage. We've had a lot of good discussions. I appreciate all that, but I do think I should go and get some sleep. Hey, we're going to be live free. Okay, April 13th. AWE's got this 8-man Grand Prix. Matteo Rangi, myself, Lachlan Carpenter, Gunther's Bikos, Ryan Scott, Andy Boskovic, Ricard Bornman, the stud, and Brett Coots. 8 of the best arm wrestlers in the Oceanic region. We're going to be competing for this, which is currently mine, the AWE heavyweight belt. Right, the AWE heavyweight belt. I won that by defeating Gunther's Baikovs, and then I defended it against Mazahir Saidu. Now I'm putting it on the line, and for the winner of this tournament, it's going to be live. It's going to be free. It's going to be kind of a behind the scenes. It's not going to be a show production level. We're going to be filming it post edit and putting out the high production stuff with the good cameras. But you're going to be able to watch it live and free as well on this channel right here. So don't miss it. April 13th. Mark it in your calendars. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. I think I'm going to beat Matteo Rangi. I just feel good about it. It is a nice belt. Thank you, Evan. I agree. It's a very nice belt. I plan to keep it. Yeah. Spermies, thank you very much for your super chat and your purchasing of the members earlier. That was really appreciated, man. Yeah, legend stuff. All right, guys. Thank you very much. You guys take care. Sorry about bumping the mic there, Sylvester. Evan Roach says he'll be watching. All right, guys. You take care. And